Getting sick on a cruise is the worst. It has the potential to ruin your entire vacation. So let's talk about all the things you should pack to avoid getting sick on your cruise. Hi, I'm Kristen from thebargainchasingtourist.com. I've been cruising since 2000 and I actually worked on cruise ships for 5 years. I'm now a nurse practitioner, so I'm going to share my expert tips and tricks to keep you from getting sick on your cruise. In my years working on cruise ships, I've either witnessed or personally experienced all of the health woes that affect cruise guests. So let me help you avoid them if possible. What's the first ailment that comes to mind when you think of sailing the ocean? Seasickness, of course. Since I lived on cruise ships for so long, I'm not affected by seasickness on a ship as big as this. However, I did bring Bonine for my other family members and for our whale watch, which was on a much smaller boat. The chewable Bonine is really helpful to take when you're on the go and also for the kids. Whatever you do, don't avoid cruising altogether because you're worried about seasickness. I recommend choosing a stateroom in the middle of the ship, preferably on a lower deck, and avoiding the front of the ship. Rest assured, the captain and the crew will do their best to avoid rough seas altogether. Hopefully you won't be bothered too much by the motion of the ship, but unfortunately you still may feel some uncomfortable symptoms. While the food on the cruise ships is amazing, most of us are not used to eating the amount or the variety of rich, decadent flavors for 7 or more days straight. That's why the next medications are high on my list for every cruise. I always bring Pepcid, Tums, and Imodium, and the reason why I encourage you to bring all of those is that you know when you need those medications, you need them now. You don't want to wait until you get to a port or until you can buy them at the cruise store. And by the way, first-time cruisers, the cruise store is only open when the ship is sailing, not when it's docked. And the cost of Pepcid from the cruise store is going to be much more expensive than at home. Worse than a little indigestion is the problem that's been plaguing cruise ships for decades, which is norovirus or gastroenteritis. While there isn't a medication that can prevent this virus, good cruise habits can ensure that you don't spend your vacation in the bathroom. Since this virus is spread hand to mouth, excessive hand washing is key. Cruise ships have now added hand washing stations before entering the buffet, but I take it even a step further by carrying my own hand sanitizer and using it repeatedly after touching menus and serving utensils. Avoid a trip to the medical center if you can help it. The last thing you want to spend your vacation money on is an unplanned medical visit. For those women that get recurrent urinary tract infections, this product, Allura, is a game changer. I encourage it for all my patients that get recurrent UTIs, and I get great feedback. The last thing you want to do on your cruise is have the pain and the inconvenience of a urinary tract infection. Another common annoyance that can spread on cruise ships are upper respiratory illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID. I bring cold medication in case I start to feel congested and ibuprofen for muscle aches. I also bring allergy medication. Now, the last time I sailed from Vancouver, I had been struggling with allergy symptoms at home in Arizona, and I thought they would disappear as soon as I got out of the desert. Yet Vancouver was really rainy and foggy, and that contrast intensified my allergy symptoms, which lasted for at least the first 3 days of the cruise. Traveling with kids, liquid Tylenol or ibuprofen is a must. I always bring this sealed in my carry-on, but on a recent trip, security insisted on opening it. So make sure you bring this double or triple bagged so you don't accidentally have red or orange goo spilled all over the inside of your carry-on. One habit I follow is to continue taking my regular daily vitamins on vacation. But more importantly is that you take care of yourself at home before the cruise, meaning getting enough sleep, navigating your stress in healthy ways, and taking supplements for immunity like vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc. If you're cruising during flu season, I recommend getting a flu shot before your cruise, which reminds me I need to get mine before my fall cruise. The worst flus I ever had, I will tell you, were when I worked on cruise ships. I was in my 20s, I was not taking good care of my health and never got a flu shot. So learn from my mistakes. Not a traditional sickness, but still a major health concern on cruises is sunburn. The sun's rays reflecting off the ocean water burn quicker. The worst sunburns I've ever seen are on men with bald spots and redheaded children. So first of all, wear a hat. I know it's hard to keep hats on kids while they're swimming, so you need to take breaks from the sun and sit in the shade. You want to bring a good mineral sunscreen. Cruise lines no longer like the typical spray sunscreen like this because of all the toxic chemicals that eventually get into the ocean. I'll link a couple mineral sunscreens in the description. I also bring aloe on every cruise, even if it's not a beach cruise. I actually don't wear sunscreen on my face. I wear my IT foundation, which has SPF 50, and I wear that over a moisturizer, which also has sunscreen. I've used this combination for about 10 years, and it hasn't failed me yet. I like to bring these blister packs because they stay on better than Band-Aids, even in water. And this travel-sized Aquaphor is great for blisters, cuts, chapped lips, dry skin, diaper rash, you name it. Finally, if you take a daily medication, please remember to pack it and take it consistently on your cruise. Did I forget anything? Please let me know in the comments below. I'm Kristen, the bargain chasing tourist, and if you want more cruise content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. And I hope to see you at sea.